That's not terrible. 9.
9?
Yeah.
You lash your tentacles around the boat, and you try to jet in the direction, and you could definitely swim against the current yourself, but dragging the boat, it's not going to happen. So in a split second, you need to make the decision to either continue moving it or to give up.
I'm gonna continue moving it, and I'm just gonna hope they start rowing and help me out.
Yeah. Once I see the tentacles wrap around the boat, I'll start pulling in the direction that the.
How far away is the shore right now?
Right now, you can only vaguely make it out.
Okay.
Because you had rowed a distance out looking for islands. Mahogany, having not the strength to carry this boat, you redouble your efforts, lash 2 more tentacles up around the side. But that means sacrificing your mobility in the water. And at that, you feel your muscles give way. The current just grabs you, starts sweeping you around. As this happens, the whole boat lists to the side, facing inward at the whirlpool. And you all see Mahogany, the octopus, swept off to the far edge of it.
Shit.
What's next?
Keep rowing. I'm going to assume Mahogany can handle himself.
Okay. Who all is rowing right now?
Everybody help.
Everyone better be.
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody at this point.
Give me 1 second here so I can look up an image. Any day now, Google Chrome, let's go. There it is. I think this is it. All right. I have to go let my dog in. He's been barking for like the past 10 minutes. So I'll just leave you all in suspense as to what happens next. Who wants to roll 40-10?
I think we should divide the labor.
Divide the labor? Okay, you do that.
Yeah, each of you guys can take a d10.
No, I'm just gonna take them all.
No.
I deserve those D10s.
I'm going to roll the metal one. Metal one is the Destil 10.
Nice. I got a 10.
I rolled well. Let's hope
This
this
is
is
gonna
not
be
the
a damage
damage
roll.
I'm about to take.
Alright, so how did we do on that roll?
I got a 10.
I got an 8.
I want the
And I
total.
got another 8.
Total it up.
You didn't get an
So
8.
that's 26. What's the last one?
Don't think Kelian rolled one, so I'm gonna roll another one then. Plus another 5.
What's the grand total?
33.
Okay, everybody takes 33 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm down.
Down.
And as all of your efforts fighting against this whirlpool, Serenity and Ciclon putting their backs into it, but the water grabs the orbs, whips them away. Ciclon is pulled over by the force, falls into the water. Large rocky outcroppings jutting up from the abyss of the river below.
Oh, shit.
Mahogany and Ciclon are the first to be dashed against them. And then the rest of you in turn as the boat topples over. Who's not down?
Serenity?
I'm not. And I'm gonna try to grab onto everyone with my tentacles.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Your tentacles have... they're not long enough to grab everybody. You were swept way, way far away from them.
Are there a couple people there that I can...
No.
Like, did anyone get swept near me?
Kelian, you took 33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Are you still up?
No! Why would I be? It's a whole lot of hit points.
I do have twice as many hit points as else. Everyone else here, don't I?
Yeah. Everybody who's not down, those of you who are still conscious, the current of the whirlpool is sucking you downwards, and swimming against it is impossible. So after a few moments, you feel that burning need to breathe. Except for Mahogany.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Glub.
And eventually you all black out from lack of water, if nothing else. Mahogany,
Yeah.
roll 40-10.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of dice. Now, do you want me to just fade to black, or do you actually want to go through all the damage until...
No, I'll be damned if I don't roll these dice. I got a whole nother transformation into an octopus inside me.
Okay.
Rickard, are we about to get to Mysidia?
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening.
8, 10, 13.
That's bludgeoning damage
13.
that you take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still up.
you're still up. Are you still an octopus?
Yeah,
And what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to, do I see anyone?
You see everybody because the waters are crystal clear, but actually swimming to them and grabbing them would be impossible because you'd be swimming against the current. What you could do, though, is wait for the whirlpool to bring you back around and try to grab somebody, and I would let you choose who you want to try to grab. You also see the boat
Alright,
that has now folded back up magically, now that nobody else is inside it, is being swept around in circles as well.
alright, this is Mahogany we're talking about, so I'm just gonna roll real quickly to see who I'm closest to,
Okay.
and then I'm going to pick them. Alright, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's, McDohl.
So that's a
So, I'm
D6,
going
and you
to-
have 7 companions, so who wasn't in the running to be rescued?
Oh, the NPCs were not in the running. I don't care.
Wow.
As an out-of-character person.
Fair enough.
Wow.
So who do you
So
grab?
I'm going to grab onto McDohl, and then I'm just going to
Wait, then
do
we have two
my
McDohls.
best to get us out of there.
Which
I don't know
McDohl?
if you knew that or not. Which
The
McDohl are
McDohl
you
to the
talking
left,
about?
because I started.
Which
with the McDohl
character?
at the
What character?
top.
Kelian.
Kelian.
Kelian, okay.
What a dick.
Sorry,
He doesn't even
Kelian's
know our
unconscious
names.
and definitely not breathing when you wrap tentacles, and what do you try to do as far as swimming away from the whirlpool? Is that your goal, or are you just trying to keep him...
I'm trying to
Grasp.
swim away from the whirlpool and swim up.
Okay.
I
roll-
want to get him to air.
Roll a strength check. Just straight strength.
Okay.
There's so many d20s on this table, but he goes for another one in the bag.
Well,
I'm greedy.
yeah.
16.
16. With great effort, you manage to pull him free of the whirlpool and get to the surface. But the place where you surface, you cannot see land anywhere on the horizon, and you don't even know which direction you might have come from.
In that case, I'm just going to kind of hold him above ground and just drift with the water. See if I can grab everyone's bodies and maybe... I'm thinking I can maybe find a cleric or like go back to Eastgard or something. Like I'm just...
Okay.
Like
You
I follow everyone.
can't grab anybody else
Corpses.
unless you re-enter the whirlpool.
Yeah, I'm not trying to grab them. I'm trying to follow them. Like they're battered corpses. I'm just going to follow them and then collect them after we get out of here.
Looking into the whirlpool, just this swirl of hundreds of fishes and bits of debris that have been broken off from these rock structures. Eventually, you lose sight of them down in the depths.
All right. In that case, I'm going to. If I don't see any land whatsoever, do I see anything that I could leave Kelian on? Even just driftwood.
No, nothing. For this point, I would have you be navigating the way Ciclon would if he was lost to find land.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to find land.
Okay, roll a navigation check. How'd you do?
1.
1. That's not what you needed. That's very, very not what you needed. Roll a d6.
Well, let's be honest here. Which way was I going to pick? 2.
2.
And you land up on an island in the middle of the river.
You actually do manage to get him to land, even though you had no idea there was land there.
All right, I'm going to get him comfortable. I'll leave him. You know what? I still have 1 casting on my thing left, so I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna heal him. I'm gonna use a
Goodberry.
Goodberry. Yeah.
Okay. So Kelian replenishes some hit points. And
All right. How many are you below, Kelian? Because I got plenty of spell charges.
Well, I mean, it knocks him down to
It's-
0.
he beat
Yeah,
one.
so-
I was at dead 1, I guess.
Yeah. How much? What is your max HP? Is what I'm asking.
23.
All right. Bring yourself up to 20. That's 2 casts.
All right.
So Kelian comes to, and he coughs forward a large amount of water that he had swallowed. His eyes are bloodshot. His equipment washed overboard.
Did you say my equipment was washed overboard?
Anything that you didn't have literally on your person. Your pack,
And
your
I'm gonna say
weapons, all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say Kelian. The others are all gone. I need to go in after them. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Kelian nods, coughing. Still.
The rest of you,
Flub.
how you guys doing?
Flub.
Pretty
I
good?
mean, yeah, I've still
Well-
got plenty of hit points.
Okay, so
Well, I mean,
I need to
you
go
won't,
fi- I
though,
need to
after
find
a
the,
few minutes is the
Yeah.
idea.
I need to find the reincarnation table because this is about to happen. I'm assuming.
The rest of you come to on a shore. Everybody's at 1 hit point.
Right.
Oh, that's right. We've split the group now. That was not my intention, but Mahogany just wouldn't leave it.
Listen, I
No.
figure since we're not
Kelian
judging
represents
heroics
Kelian and
anymore,
Mahogany. That's true.
why not be heroic?
Why not be heroic for the first time in the friggin' campaign? The rest of you come to. Your entire body aches, covered with bruises and scrapes, but you don't feel drowned. You're not coughing up water.
Look
A pile
around.
nearby with most of what you assume is your gear. You haven't gone through it yet, but you see the folded boat is there, along with backpacks, weapons, just a pile made off to the side. I'm going to post an image in the... This is a terrible image, though. I'm going to see if I can find a better one.
I just want to point out that Serenity does not have her back because me and Kelian have it.
Yes, that's true. This is a good image. This isn't the Planescape image, but I actually really like this one.
Are you putting that in Twitch chat?
Yeah, I'm going to post this in Twitch chat. This is the creature that is in the water watching over you.
Somebody throw that in Mumble.
Sure.
Thanks.
Who amongst you has the highest constitution?
Not me.
Serenity.
Probably Serenity.
18.
Serenity, you come to first, and like I said, you're covered in bruises, having been battered against the rocks of Oceanus. And you see this giant whale creature, unimaginably huge, resting what would count as its chin on the bank, on this grassy bank where the river is rushing by. And on the side of its massive head are 2 giant ocean blue orbs that would pass for eyes. And it turns its head just a slight movement, but that causes the ground to shake slightly. This thing is so massive. And it regards you. And you think it speaks. This low, very bass-heavy, droning sound emits from its mouth. And it doesn't obviously make any sense. But in your mind, you feel the sound shape into words. And in your mind, you feel the sound coagulate into a phrase like, "You and your friends were very nearly done for."
Ugh,
Can you?
where are the other 2?
And he says he found only you 6. And what of your wreckage he could salvage. Riot, you had a question?
Oh, well, I get it's answered now. I was just gonna ask, can you understand this? But it clearly can.
Well, is everyone else awake?
No,
or is it
everybody else
just
is asleep. Serenity came to first.
I'll look around and see what's all gathered here with me.
You see your companions laid up on the shore. Everybody except for Kelian and Mahogany. And you see a pile. I mean, the boat is the biggest piece. But packs, weapons, just a pile of it. You have to go over and go through it to take inventory.
Thank you for helping us. So you didn't see 2 others when... Where did you find us? At the bottom of the river?
Said Oceanus sought fit to deliver you to my doorstep. I took the liberty of deciding perhaps that's not where you wanted to be.
Who's the closest person to me?
You can pick.
I'll go over to Ciclon and do my best to wake him up.
And you shake him awake, and Elsie Clone comes too. And again, it feels like you're just waking up from sleep. Your whole body is sore and aching, but you don't. Your lungs aren't full of water. You're not coughing and sputtering.
Do I remember the last week of what happened?
Yes, you do.
Okay, good.
I mean, if you're gonna drown somewhere, you want to drown in Oceanus. It's the nicest place to drown, really.
Okay, well that is a start. I'll look at my fuzzy furry body and I'll say, "Did the Godsman thing happen to me?" And then no.
I don't think
it didn't. Okay, all right. So, whew, okay, that's
help
a
me
thing.
get the others on their feet.
Yeah. I'll turn to the others and start helping rouse them.
Oh my god. FantasyNameGenerators.com now has a weapon generator that generates pictures of weapons where you can...
Oh my goodness.
Can you put scopes on scopes?
It like has options for hilts, pommels, cross guards. Whew, okay.
What website was that again?
FantasyNameGenerators.com.
Got it.
And then over the course of the next few minutes, you guys rouse up the rest of your companions, including Kelian's cat. And the thing just looks
I'm not waking
wretched.
up the cat.
Which amongst you have the
highest?
highest? Who has the highest charisma score of the group here?
Probably Riot. It's 20.
Who besides
Yeah.
Riot has the highest charisma score? Oh, actually, it might be Bobbrick. Let me double check. What's the highest among you
Yeah.
guys?
I have 15.
11.
Yeah, Bobbrick has you beat. So, absent Kelian, the cat seems to be gravitating towards Bobbrick. And you, as he kind of takes stock of what's happened, he's not sure whether to be annoyed or amused by this.
Well, now I'm curious why it didn't go to me.
Like a true cat. Kind of mad, but I'm kind of curious too.
Well, you're not here, so you don't know.
I'm talking like the cat.
So yeah, Kelian's not in the scene. He could play the cat.
The creature introduces himself. He says, I have the pleasure of being known as Mornpod.
Said, I'll say, well, thank you, Mornpod. We owe you a great debt. Is there anything we can do for you?
He says no, he imagines not, and he expresses deep regret if there are any of your number that he was not able to save.
Look around and say, it looks like Kelian and Mahogany are missing.
I say that's a shame. I like Mahogany.
Me too.
Damn, son.
He might still be out there. He was an octopus. I saw him swimming
Yeah,
before
that
I
is
was
true.
pulled under.
And he says, I confess that your number are already known to me. Word travels quickly down the river. You've given aid to the Verdant Guild.
Nod.
He says, in that case, I suppose it is I that am your debt.
Well, you've certainly repaid whatever it is that you might have owed us. We'd
Yeah,
all be
no
dead
kidding.
if not for you. I don't suppose we're looking for a particular island in the middle of the Oceanus. That's why we were sailing on it at all.
He says, as it happens, you sit on an island now, though a small one. There are many islands in Oceanus.
I'll start
Ours is-
taking a look around.
Some desert island.
And kind of dejectedly, he offers his apologies. I mean, his form being what it is, he doesn't know what lies inland on any of these places.
Makes sense. Fair enough. Are you a native of the Beastlands?
He was born here, has lived in Oceanus his whole life. He doesn't keep much track of what plane he's on at any given time. He doesn't know unless he surfaces, which isn't
I
awesome.
see.
So what's next?
What's the exact description of this island we're looking for again, Riot?
Just there's an island in the middle of the river. On the island is a desert with a cairn of stones.
How wide is the river here, do you know?
And he answers using the same sounds as before, but this time the sounds don't coagulate in your head into anything that can be understood, which you take to mean that he's giving an answer in some unit of measurement that you're not familiar with.
And I'm guessing the same answer would be given if he was asking how far it is to the other side.
And when he sees the confusion, the lack of understanding, he instead says, by your notion, very, very wide. On Arborea, there are places where the sun and moon change places many times before you can see either shore. On the Beastlands, well, the sun doesn't set.
So we have no way of knowing how far away we are from the other shore where we left.
At this, there's a great splash as he flips his tail up out of the river. And onto the shore, a couple 100 feet away from you, splashed an entire pile of raw fish, seaweed, and kelp. Several crabs flapping about in this huge pile. And he says, make your sustenance of that. I will go see if I can find your companions.
Serenity is going to go into the equipment pile and see if any of the cooking gear survived.
Riot's going to do the same and see what's left of her guitar.
Yeah.
Everybody let's randomly figure out if any equipment is gone.
Okay.
What would be the
right.
fairest way to do that? Because we know what
Mine
you're
in
carrying.
Destil's is safe.
Oh, that's right, because you're
It's melded into mahogany.
transmogrified
Yep.
at the moment. So let's see, Riot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got, if I'm counting this right, rapier, dagger. You have lodestones? Why do you have lodestones?
It's a spell component.
Oh, okay. So totaling up all your possessions, like how many things do you have in your possession right now?
Assuming that stuff on my body doesn't count.
No, the stuff that's on your body doesn't count, but weapons, objects in your backpack.
Okay.
We'll count your belt pouch as one item.
Okay.
We'll count your component pouch as one item.
I'm counting, looks like 9 things.
9 things. Okay.
Well, I mean, a lot of them were in my backpack.
I'm counting everything in your backpack, though, as separate.
Okay, then 9 things.
Okay. Let me roll some percentile dice here.
Because if you lose your backpack, you're fucked. So
Right.
I'm just rolling for everybody real quick. Right.
Yeah.
Roll 2d10s, re-roll 10s. So you generate 2 numbers 1 through 9.
Gotcha. Let me find my d10s.
LC Clone, how many things... Everybody should be counting this up except for Serenity and Mahogany.
25.
You've got 25?
Yeah. Of different items.
25?
I mean, that's-
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I just got a whole bunch of random crap.
All right, I made my rolls.
Okay.
Let me know when you want them.
Well, I mean, just count down the list. The first item is number 1, the second item is number 2, etc.
Oh, okay. All right.
And whatever 2 items come up, erase them from your character sheet, unless one of them is your Aunt Nancy item.
Okay.
So what did Riot lose?
She lost her lodestones, so I can't cast whatever spell that was anymore, which I forget what it was.
Yes, you can, because you can use your guitar as a focus.
Oh yeah, that's right. And my guitar pick.
And the Obsidian guitar pick.
Yeah.
Isn't that your Aunt Nancy item?
No, the fragment of song is the
Oh, right.
So you're carrying all this stuff on you, LC Clone? You didn't leave any behind?
Well, I don't really have any place to leave it, honestly.
Okay. Roll, you said 25?
Yeah.
1d20 plus 1d6. Take the total and subtract 1.
20.
That's as close as we're gonna get, I think. To Mr. fucking Pack Rat over here. Kelian, how many items do you have total?
Homeless, what do you expect?
6.
6.
But they're
3.
all clutch. Well, they're almost all are clutch.
What do you mean clutch? I mean, you're counting
My
your...
weapons.
They're all... Well, weapons count, so...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Roll 1d6. What else
You said d20, d6 minus 1.
d20 plus d6 minus 1.
Okay, a bedroll.
You lost your bedroll. Kelian, what did you lose?
I rolled a 1, so it's the first thing on my list.
Yeah, probably one of your weapons is the first thing.
No, it's not. I lost my adventurer's pack.
You lost the whole pack?
Well, what was in the pack is the idea.
Whatever.
Itemize what's in the pack. Let's move on. Mahogany's Rain don't leave anything. Okay. Dolphinder, Bobrick, and Xanthines, I'm not really tracking their inventories anyway, but they all lost stuff too. I was gonna say, how do you only have 6 items? But all of your Aunt Nancy items are there. The folding boat is there. And there's a great splash as Mornpod turns around to go back into the river.
I guess we better stay put there until Mornpod comes back with news.
Yeah.
Actually, Kelian, hold off on that roll. You don't have any of your equipment right now anyways. I'll just figure it out from my end what you're missing.
Is the boat still salvageable? That's the only thing I was actually carrying effectively.
Not damaged, actually.
Okay.
That's good.
It's
Magic item.
Yeah, it's a magic
I love
item.
it.
Once it
I'll
collapsed,
fold it back up, throw it on my back.
I mean, the notes say that the whirlpool destroys a vessel the PCs are in unless it's a magical boat.
and it certainly is a boat of magical.
So if you had said, no, screw the folding boat, let's just buy a canoe, your canoe would have been destroyed.
Well, hey, that would have had to be
We put that scratched out.
Kelian and Mahogany. Oh, you guys on the other shore, you've each woke up, as well as Kelian, woke up with 2 levels of exhaustion. Mahogany,
right.
you do not. We'll give Mahogany 1 level because he had to swim out of the whirlpool and drag Kelian's
It was
fat
really
ass back to
tiring.
shore. So what do you guys do back on the other shore, Kelian and Mahogany? What's the plan over here?
My plan was I was going to stay out of the whirlpool's clutches, but dive back down there and see if I can see the bottom.
How long do you swim without seeing the bottom before giving up on that? Well, actually, let me rephrase that. After a few moments, you're swimming in total darkness.
Can I see with my... I think I have dark vision.
Even that's not
That's
going to
enough.
avail you in total darkness.
Okay. In that case, once I'm pretty clear that I'm not going to be able to spot them no matter what, I would swim back up.
Okay. But yeah, you swim for much, much longer thinking I should have definitely reached the bottom of this river by now. And you realize that the sisters were not exaggerating when they tell you that Oceanus has unimaginable depth. On the plus side, when you swim out into the water, you see absolutely no sign of the whirlpool that separated you from your companions.
That's actually not a plus.
It's not a
I'm
plus
always-
at all?
No, because now they're completely gone. And I once I come back up, I'm like just really beaten down, and I say, well, I couldn't see anything down there at all. I mean, I think our best case chance is to rest up a bit and then check out the further shore, see if we can discover anything over there.
Kelian nods in agreement. You said Serenity's pack is with me?
Mahogany was carrying his and Serenity's pack, so they're both melded on the Mahogany's form, so nothing was lost out of those packs.
Okay,
also, I don't think there's an adventuring kit in the book.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
There's a burglar's pack, a diplomat's pack, dungeoneers, entertainers, explorers, priests, or scholars. Did you mean an explorer's pack?
Probably.
Okay.
Whatever. It's probably it's all gone.
Serenity's got an explorers.
It says what it is under rogue. So if you just look up rogue in the PHP, it'll tell you what you
I
have.
did. It's not. It wasn't one of the options.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe you just did a stupid when you typed out the character sheet.
Did yourself a stupid?
It's a burglar's pack, dungeoneer's pack, or an explorer's pack.
Yeah, burglar,
Yeah.
dungeoneer, or explorer. So which one do you have?
I would guess burglar,
Okay.
but it's gone. Whatever it is.
Kelian. Well, how many things? There's ball bearings, string, bell, candles, crowbar. All right, let me do some rolling here.
Okay.
1,000 ball bearings. You're gonna have to roll for each individual ball bearing.
I am, don't worry. Kelian only lost one ball bearing.
Yay! I have all my balls. Most of my balls.
Kelian.
Well,
Where are your weapons listed on this sheet? I want to make sure that I throw
item
those
and
where they-
location in backpack. Sure. Okay.
Oh, you just have the crossbow. You don't have a melee weapon?
I have a short sword.
Yes, you do. Okay.
Man, the burglar's pack is the pack. That comes with all kinds of shit.
Kelian lost his short sword and a crowbar. So Kelian on the shore with 10 hit points and totally exhausted. What do you do with your day after Mahogany leaves to go out to search for the others?
Kelian is concerned with self-defense at this point, since he's all by himself, so he's going to build camp as best he can. Use his... He still has his crossbow, I guess.
Yes.
Oh,
actually... Yeah, you'll have it. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll give that to you.
Well, short sword is gone. Basically, set up camp, forage for food as best he can, if he can, and not move, and just be hyper aware of his surroundings, so he doesn't get attacked or ganked or anything like that.
Okay, roll a nature check. I'm sorry, survival check, not nature.
Survival. Kelian is a pencil-pushing nerd from the takers.
DC is 10.
11.
11. Getting water is trivial because Oceanus is right there, and you do manage to... You find an injured bird with a broken wing
Yay!
and fallen out of a nearby tree.
Get the eggs, too.
Awesome.
Mahogany. Swimming down in the depths of Oceanus. It's not long before you see the enormous whale creature headed in your direction.
Mahogany turns around and starts swimming back.
Swim back to Kelian.
Yeah.
And the thing is following you. And it's swimming
Oh,
much faster
shit.
than you can.
Oh, God.
It's likely you could reach shore before it reaches you. But in that case, you'll be bringing it straight back to Kelian.
That's fine. It's a whale creature. It's not going to come up onto shore.
Kelian. Sitting
Yes.
there eating your innocent fallen baby bird. You monster.
Dude, I need to eat. Whatever.
2 Two splashes come up out of Oceanus. The one is Mahogany in octopus form, breaking like a bullet out of the ocean and flopping on the shore.
I think he's running around just like Octodad at that point.
The second is this unimaginable whale breaching the surface with a great wave throwing up on the shore, splashing Mahogany against a tree some 20 feet away. And you're there with your half-eaten baby bird when this gigantic whale creature rests the bottom of its head on the shore and turns its head so this giant eye can observe you.
Kelian backpedals. Bird in mouth.
And the low, bass-like droning of the creature, of its speech, you hear it. You more feel it in your chest than hear it. But it congeals in your mind into the words. It says, "And you are Kelian?"
Mahogany will turn back into a human for
Yeah.
better moving away from this thing.
He says with the
Genasi.
bird in his mouth.
A human's not a beast. You can't turn into a human.
Okay, yeah. A water genasi.
There you go.
Humanoid form.
Gotcha.
Yes, okay.
Your companions are nearby, and they are safe under my protection.
Oh. They're alive?
Thank you.
As I would take you to them. If that's
Kelian
what
finally,
you wish.
Kelian finally removes the bird from his mouth. How? I mean, sure. How?
And the thing opens its mouth. And there's this cavern-like entrance on top of its tongue. And again, the low, loud sound comes from deep inside of this thing's gut. And you hear in its head. And he just says, "Climb on. It is safe."
Kelian looks at
Mahogany's
Mahogany.
very unhappy. But he says, Kelian, I have to know.
It could be a trap.
Surely it could eat something bigger than us. And then he goes, look at
Fair point.
him,
Fair
her.
point.
And the thing assures you that it can eat a great many things larger than you. But it has no intention of eating you. If that's all that it wanted, it could have taken you both in the abyss. I didn't eat your friends either, in case you're wondering.
Alright.
Mahogany shrugs and say, well, we'll find out either way. We'll find out either way.
So did the cooking gear survive?
Yeah, nobody's cooking gear is gone.
All right,
Yay!
Serenity's gonna start cooking up these fish and crabs.
Mahogany will shoulder his packs and get on in the whale.
Climb up on this thing, and you have to reach up to climb up onto its lip, and then navigate its giant, flat, gnashing teeth. And then further than that, up onto its tongue and hoist yourself up. And it's the skin of its tongue is grayish and covered in little bumps. As you manage to find purchase, there's not much in the way of a handhold, so you climb in towards the center of it, which is large enough that you won't be thrown about.
Kelian, we're gonna drink for free
And then the
for
thing
years.
submerges into the water. And as it does, you're bracing yourselves for what you're imagining is going to be this rush of water coming in, flooding you down this thing's throat. But it doesn't. Even though its mouth stays open, a crack at the front, so you can see the light out on the other side. But no water rushes in. The bubble of air retains itself. And then you suddenly feel yourself moving, swimming through the river at an incredible speed. Meanwhile, back at the other camp, as Serenity has cooked up this feast of fish and crab and seaweed. A couple hours pass when Mornpod returns, and once again breaches his gigantic head out of the water, and opens his mouth and issues forth a slightly slimy Kelian and Mahogany.
Mahogany has a huge grin on his face.
Kelian, Mahogany, so help me, I'm pleased to see you.
Oh,
That was amazing.
That looked amazing.
Thank you.
yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Mornpod reiterates, says, "It is known that you are friends of the Wilders. So if I could be of further assistance, I would hear what you would have me do."
We're looking for a desert in the middle of the River Oceanus.
We already asked
right,
him.
right. Cuts him off. So we covered that.
We already asked him.
Did you give us a ride there?
We are on an island.
Yeah, he points out that you're on an island at the moment. And that regretfully he knows several other shorelines to take you to, but he doesn't know which ones are islands and which ones aren't. He hasn't circumnavigated all of them. He's not totally familiar with the entirety of River Oceanus, as he explains how he travels its great length and doesn't spend all of his time on the Beastlands.
Riot
Once
asks.
Mahogady's told that he's still on an island, he goes, "Oh, we did it! Great job, everyone!"
I don't know if that's the right island, you genius.
Riot asks, "Is there a way we can get in touch with you if we need your help again?"
And at that, Riot, make me a charisma check.
Okay. Am I exhausted right now? I think I am, right?
You have 2 levels.
Yeah, we're on mid
Okay.
everybody's 2 levels exhausted right now.
All right.
Everybody except Mahogany.
Stop.
Mahogany is 1.
Oh, well, I rolled a 1, so there we
Roll
go.
1.
Nice.
In response, Mornpod sings, for lack of a better term, a very low, droning, bass-heavy vocalization. But you're not able to follow what he's doing. But at the end of it, when he sees that you don't understand, he explains that this is a song that will carry through the waves to summon Mir, my kind.
I'll say, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to practice with you until I get it right. And she takes up the guitar.
He says, "Why don't you rest? Fill your belly. Try again when your mind is not preoccupied with exhaustion."
Might be better.
So what happens next?
Well, I guess we rest.
Camp out, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahogany spends the next 20 minutes telling an annoyed Riot about the journey inside the giant creature.
well, it looks like we all took the same ride. It's just some of us were awake for it.
Kelian passes out really quickly.
Okay.
He's tired of being tired.
Tired of being tired.
So I guess I'm
Sick
burning
and tired.
hit dice then.
Yeah, everybody can spend some hit dice and wipe 1 level of exhaustion.
What level were we at?
Everybody
We're all
was
at
at 2,
2.
Mahogany was at 1.
Okay. Right.
Once we wake back up, just because I'm actually remembering this time, remember, I'll take my good berry.
Okay.
You said spend hit dice, right?
Yes, you can spend hit dice, and after you've spent them, you regain half of your total hit dice. Which I
You
think
can go ahead and-
right now is 2 for everybody.
I'll go ahead and Song of Rest.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Oh,
So
Which
we get
gives
an
us-
extra 1d6.
Well, roll a d6, Nick.
Oh, is that how that... Okay,
Yeah, you roll a d6, and everybody just adds that number.
okay, gotcha. 2. Sorry.
Cool.
So, everybody can add 2 to whatever the hit dice you just rolled. What is done as far as exploring the island?
I guess that's a question for Serenity.
How big do we think the island is?
I mean, right now you just been on the shore of it. Looking off into the distance, you've got you see the elevation of hills along the horizon.
Okay. I think we should make our way inland. See if we can find out how large it is. Maybe get an idea of how large the river is here.
So what's the plan when we come back? Are we going to try to find the boundaries of this island, or are we going to hop back in the whale mouth? Just so
I
I
think
know.
we should
Well,
explore
it's
the island first.
Okay.
I mean, now that we're on one, it
Sure.
could be the one we want. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we're going to call it there for the week. You guys made a lot of progress. Look at this. Compared to what you had at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
Let me save this. There's a lot of dice. How come every time you guys need a D20, you go grab a fresh D20? There's so many D20s.
I
in
mentioned
here.
the same
Wait,
thing.
I need a D20? Hold on, okay, I got one. What was I supposed to roll?
That's ridiculous.
Listen, that makes it more homey, I think.
It's a lived-in feel.
Yeah.
I also have a note on my little random encounter table that the whirlpool encounter can happen more than once. Just so you know. Let me go ahead and get a straw
That's fine.
poll set up
It seemed
here.
to go okay.
Apparently, we know some
The second
awesome
time,
whales.
the whale's just exasperated. No, the second time we're inside the whale, and then we get to find out whether the whale is magical or whether it gets destroyed.
I'm going to post the straw poll link in the chat. Because we're going to do our blip rundown this week, and Chad gets to vote on who gets a little bit of extra experience. Straw poll's up this week, so we don't have to use the Moobot poll. Although I think the Moobot poll worked pretty well, all things considered. You guys killed 13 members of the Vile Hunt.
Out of how many?
Hundreds and hundreds. But I have a little note here of like which of the two factions you guys are siding with, and I think a decision has been made at this point.
Yeah.
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 I gotta give
boys.
you XP for a giant octopus too.
Because that was pretty hilarious.
Both giving XP for a giant octopus and XP for a giant octopus.
How much XP did they lose by not killing the snake? They'll never know. Alright, bear with me 1 second as I get my ducks in a row here.
You could probably
I
say
love
it
that the
now
image
because
you-
all the dice is clean. Because most of the dice are cleaned up.
I love that the image you found of the Bolina
Yeah.
came from Mysidia.org.
Did it? Nice.
We did good in the city.
Okay, so we give a blip for the most creative solution of the session. What are you guys thinking?
Giant octopus.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Taking Kelian out.
It's got to be Mahogany with the octopus.
Yeah.
What about okay, this is the new one. We're giving a blip for party assist. What action this session furthered the party's goals the most?
Definitely not El Ciclon.
No. I want to reiterate, this is the one that's replacing heroism, that you all decided that this would be easier than heroism.
I'm just assuming the problem that they're all having is that they know Mahogany deserves all of them.
What about badassery? Who gets the badass blip?
Wow.
There was a lot of combat this session. Somebody's got to have done something badass.
I'm gonna go ahead and nominate myself. I don't do it that often, but hey, if no one else is gonna recognize how great it
No,
was,
yeah,
at
getting
Riot,
rid of the octopus
That Riot-
was good.
Yeah, scaring an octopus
One
away like
shot.
that, though, is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, for sure.
We give a blip for intangibles this session. Nobody?
I'm thinking.
thinking.
I think the problem with furthering the party goals is no one specific person took a particular step toward that. I mean, it's just like
there was a few times where people took the initiative to do things.
Each time those people were Mahogany.
But alas, I must remain neutral. It's okay. I'll just sit here and eat my snag ones.
That's cool.
For intangibles, tell me, everyone, so that we come up with something here. Everyone, tell me the coolest thing you think you did this session.
Well, I already got a blip for that.
I snuck up on a guy and critted him automatically.
That happened.
That did happen.
Serenity took enough damage to kill any of you guys in the first fight.
I did a Major League Baseball slide and to save somebody from dying. That was pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, but that guy sucked.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. It looked cool, is what I'm saying.
Did that help you?
I'm gonna go with Kelian's crit.
Kelian's crit. Is anybody?
Yeah, he hasn't been able to use his assassin feature at all.
Yeah, that is true. He hasn't.
So the first use of it deserves.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So that just leaves the assist blip. Does anybody deserve that this session?
I figured that was the assist blip.
Well, that was the intangible.
No,
That was intangibles? Alright.
Unless you want to make a case for furthering the party's goals with that assassinate.
If none of you people are going to take it, I'm seriously going to say Mahogany. Mahogany pulled Kelian out of the freaking water. That's the most assistance that there has been. And jumped in. Mahogany. Come on.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that.
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, I'm pretty sure we saved a Guardian Beast and didn't piss off that whole faction because of Mahogany.
With the giant snake?
Yeah, the giant snake.
That's true. Like, I probably would have killed it if Mahogany's hadn't said, Riot, stop.
So, let's go over. Who wants to do their belief rundown first?
I'll do it.
Kelian.
I heard Mahogany first. There's one perfect state of being for everything, and some cannot be tolerated. So
I'm going with the... Oh, sorry.
Did you live in accordance with that belief?
Yeah, and I'm going to say I did, and I'm once again going to point out the giant snake, where from the beginning, Mahogany wasn't sure. Like, he wasn't instantly sure he knew the true shape, or the perfect form of the people fighting in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it turned out that they were, as he thought, pretty evil, he then went to preserve the snake.
So what was the perfect form of the snake in that battle?
It seemed to be... If it is what Mahogany suspects it is now,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed to be performing its perfect form pretty admirably when we first saw it. It was defending itself and the entire canyon against 6 others.
And did Mahogany learn anything new about his beliefs?
No.
And are they changing? Kelian, the best outcome is what benefits me the most. So
No.
Kelian, no, not this week?
He was exhausted for too much of it to care.
Did Kelian learn anything new about his beliefs?
He doesn't like being tired, but no.
And are his beliefs changing?
No.
Did anything happen in this session that Kelian considers to be to his benefit?
No.
No.
Not even
just-
a little bit.
Just garbage the whole time. Alright, who wants to go next?
I'll go
Okay.
next.
El Ciclon. It is a luchador's duty to know what heroism is and exemplify it to the public. So did he live that belief this week?
I would say yes, he did.
How so?
Like I said, he before he knew anything about it, he saw someone injured and dying. He jumped in immediately to go help them.
And that was a heroic act, even though it turned out it was a garbage man?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say so.
Uh,
And that's going to bring into the belief changing stuff.
so did he learn something new?
Yeah, he did, and he's I would say it's happened over the last couple of sessions
Okay.
that he can't just he can't blindly accept that that someone is inherently good, but he has to give them a chance.
And so how does that fit in with exemplifying heroism?
Part of what I'm thinking heroism is in his mind is that giving someone the benefit of the doubt and letting them prove themselves to be untrustworthy or evil.
And is that something that Ciclon would not have done before this session?
Probably.
So I'm trying to think, how is this a new aspect of Ciclon's beliefs that he's come to realize? Because I feel like Ciclon always does that. He always gives people the benefit of the doubt until he has a reason not to. So what is the new thing that he learned?
You know, that's I would say it hasn't really come to the forefront, but it was just like first was the last session where he nearly got bodied by arrows.
Right. That was fun.
And then here the session before last rather, and then here with the guy the Vile Hunters.
So what is Ciclon? What is his reaction when he jumps to the front in a blaze of heroism and is rewarded with violence, or only serves to put himself in danger without any other real benefit?
It's very discouraging. But he's trying to keep the faith as best he can.
And are Ciclon's beliefs changing?
I'm going to give a tentative yes. I'm going to work on that.
Okay. And is it because he keeps doing these heroic things and is not being... it's not paying out for him?
Yeah.
So, would it be fair to say that Ciclon, the direction you're changing in, I just want to get a sense of where you're going, is he learning there are places where it's not always appropriate to do the most heroic thing?
I would say yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back to next week. We'll talk about how he's changing some more.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go next?
Okay.
Institutions of control must be uprooted and undermined at every opportunity. Did that come into play this week for Riot?
On balance, no. I'm gonna say she did one thing in accordance with that, and then a bunch of other things that weren't. So no, not really.
What's the one thing that she did?
When the party had all resolved to leave the Vile Hunter, just basically to die on his own, and Dolphin just said, "No, I mean, I have to do my own thing here. I have to mete out justice." Riot was there to say, "Hey, yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that, and I'll give you your knife back."
And what are some examples where she didn't?
The entire, like everything that had to do with siding with the Wilders.
Okay.
She's realized now that she's working for the Wilders. and Riot doesn't really like working for anybody.
And that she finds that to be disturbing?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say no on that one, but yes to the change, not to the change, but to learning something.
So what is it that she's learning?
What she's learning in working with the Wilders is that institution and control are not necessarily a redundant thing. Because here we've got the Wilders, who are definitely an institution, but their entire purpose and reason for being and all their goals are about maintaining life as it is on the Beastlands, which is a wild place. So they're working to preserve this wild, free thing. But they're all working in concert with each other to do it, which is what's screwing Riot up.
Gotcha. So to kind of just explore Riot's core belief a little bit, is there anything... does she make any kind of delineation between an institution of good and an institution of evil? By which I mean an institution that, even though it is a collective organization with rules and whatnot. It needs to exist for the betterment of people versus, say, an institution like the Wild Hunt, which really it's just bad. It's just an awful group of people doing awful things.
Yeah. Before she would not have. Now she's kind of wondering about that.
Does this, I'm going to hold off on my next question, actually. It might not come into play anyway, so we'll sit on that. Are her beliefs changing at all?
No.
No. And that just leaves Serenity. By my actions, I will make the multiverse a better place. Is the multiverse a better place this week?
Yep.
How so?
3 fewer members of the Wild Hunt.
Oh, you killed a lot more than 3, my friend.
Sorry, I lost count at some point then.
Like, I think you personally
1, 2,
killed
3, many.
Yeah, you personally killed 3, but yeah, you guys got a lot.
Yeah,
more
that's
than
what
that.
I meant. Yeah.
So what is the effect, as far as Serenity's concerned, of the Vile Hunt on the Beastlands?
They're just vile. They fit their name to a T. She has absolutely no tolerance for these people.
Dolphinder asked Mahogany to promise to aid her in exterminating these people wherever they're found. If she had made that same offer to Serenity, what would Serenity's response have been?
Serenity would actually said she'll only know when it happens. She can't make a promise like that.
Serenity learning.
But she would expect to be able to. She'd expect that would be the correct path that would reveal itself.
So Serenity would take it on a case-by-case basis. To make sure that
but so far, every case has been these people are awful. She hasn't seen any exceptions. But she won't know until it happens.
Did Serenity learn anything new about her beliefs?
No.
And are they changing?
Nope.
Serenity, Riot, and Mahogany, you all can take 1 belief point. Ciclon, you may take 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to grill Ciclon and Riot a little more, probably when we get back to Sigil, after this whole Beastlands shenanigans is over.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and
fair.
mark those down. Let me go to the straw poll here.
Straw poll.
Kelian is the fan favorite this week.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
Kelian's got 5 votes. Riot has 0 votes. Riot, you were not entertaining at all this week.
I know.
Ciclon got his pity vote. Yes.
I didn't have anybody to ping off of this week.
Thanks, Rune Fox.
For the pity vote. Alright, I got to do a bunch of adding up here.
Thanks, Nodal.
It was tied, and I found myself in the unhappy situation of needing to break a tie.
So, when I was making the random encounter tables and I decided to put a rock on the table, I was thinking, I'll probably never roll that.
It happened.
I feel like a less intelligent group of players would have tried to fight that rock.
It's rock and roll, not rock and sit there.
Here's my. See, I was during this whole session, I was actually playing the music from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
So I had the whole vibe in my brain, and I was like, okay, big giant bird monster. Like, there's plenty of those in Xenoblade Chronicles, and you don't want to run up and fight any of those.
Let's be real. If we hadn't already proved it didn't work, Mahogany would have tried to talk to it.
Does anybody offhand know what the creature you killed in the desert was?
Oh yeah, it was a basilisk.
Very, very clearly, yes. Good job.
Oh,
It was delicious.
It was delicious. Okay. Everybody's getting a base of 272 for all the encounters. That counts up the basilisk. The part of me doesn't want to split the experience for the giant octopus. Part of me wants to just give the whole 200 to Riot. But I'm going to split that up. Everybody was there, and I'm assuming everybody would have acted to do something.
Yeah.
That also...
Something about this group of octopuses, man.
That also factors routing in all of the Vile Hunters and factors into completing the quest for the 2 sisters. Help
I
you
was
in
actually
your
really
backtrack.
bummed with that encounter, because if it had gone any longer, I was going to tell everyone to just use their turn fighting, and then I was going to destroy water and just completely empty the boat. But I didn't get a chance to do it.
Oh. Riot. You could put an extra 190 on that for your 1 blip.
Okay.
Kelian and Mahogany put an extra 380 on that for your 2 blips.
Wait, what does that add up to? What was the original number?
227.
272.
272.
Thank
yeah.
you.
I didn't give any blips for alignment, flaws, or factions this session. Did not seem particularly appropriate.
I have a question.
Do you now?
Yeah. My question is, since I'm a druid, while they're all recovering from exhaustion, can I level on the beastlands?
What would that training entail?
I would probably either be meditating or trying out my new animal forms.
Considering that you have 1 fewer level of exhaustion than everybody else, I'll say if next session would they decide to do a long rest to get that 2nd level, I will allow you to take a downtime action to level, with the caveat that I'm still going to roll to see if you get a random encounter. So you can take the downtime action to level, being a druid on the Beastlands, but there's going to be a chance you get interrupted by a rock.
I actually just looked at the encounter table and I don't have enough experience anyway.
Don't you? Okay. Then never
Yeah,
mind.
65.
I've got enough. But I'm not a druid.
Now, just so you guys know, the Monster Manual doesn't say anything about the effects of eating basilisk meat, but I'm like, no, this is not. we're gonna. I don't think NetHack has basilisks, but if it did,
Oh yeah.
That would be a thing. It'd be like playing with cockatrices or something like that.
Crawl has basilisks, and you cannot eat their meat. It is like if you try to butcher a basilisk corpse, it's listed as inedible.
Yep. Yep.
What if you're a ghoul?
Yeah, I think
I don't know what ghouls
I
do.
think they cleaned up. I think the most recent build actually cleans up the inedible poisonous meats. I think poisonous are completely out now, right? And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think therefore Ghoul and Kobold could probably both eat basilisk meat if they still generate chunks. Because I don't think there's anything that they can't anymore.
I don't
think
trust
there's a
any
distinction.
game that has a generate chunk feature. It just sounds unseemly.
You don't trust Minecraft?
No, I don't. That is going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for playing, as always. We do D&D every Sunday. During the week, I'm going to try to get back into Telltale Game of Thrones, because that was a lot of fun when we played it yesterday.
I think each of these hexagons is actually a chunk, because look, they're each a different biome.
Nice.